Payback period has two formulae. The first one assumes that there will be uniform cash flow. Uniform cash flow means, for example, we have made an investment. Think of maybe an investment into a fixed deposit, investment in an FD, fixed deposit, okay, fixed deposit, which we have made for 1 lakh. And every year, the interest is going to be 10% per annum. That means the yearly interest is going to be equal to the 1 lakh that we have invested into the interest rate of 10%, which gives us 10,000 rupees per annum. Okay, so what we have over here is the cash inflow. What we have here, okay, our 1 lakh of investment is the cash outflow. Payback period simply tells you in how much of time will the original investment come back to you. Okay, so let's say this fixed deposit has been open for maybe 15 years. Alright, so we are saying the time. Okay, the time is going to be 15 years. We are not concerned with how long the fixed deposit is going to be for. We want to know in how much of time will the money come back. Alright, so our payback period formula, okay, payback period is equal to cash outflow upon cash inflow. I've just written this in short form, okay, which is equal to 1 lakh, which was what we invested, upon the 10,000 we're getting per year as interest, and doing the math, we are going to get paid back in 10 years. Now, we can also find out something called payback profitability. So payback profitability is going to equal total cash inflow minus investment. And now think very carefully about how this is going to work, because we have made an investment for 15 years. That means we are going to be getting for 15 years 10,000 per year. Okay, so it's going to be 15 into 10,000 minus the investment of 1 lakh. And that's going to end up giving us 15 into 10,000, which is 1,50,000 minus 1 lakh. So we end up with a payback profitability of 50,000. Now, the formula that we have just seen, where we calculate payback period, assumes uniform cash flow, which we can think of as investment upon return or cash outflow upon cash inflow. But in reality, if you are buying shares, if you are setting up a project of your own, running your own business, you're not going to get the same amount of money, that is something like 10,000 rupees every year. Okay, you're going to get different amounts every year, and that is what we would call non-uniform cash flow. So our next method for calculating payback period is using the formula for non-uniform cash flow. Okay, and our formula is Y1 plus investment minus cumulative cash flow at year 1 upon the cash flow at year 2. Now, when we are given a question, okay, it's going to be something like this. You have made an investment. Okay, so let's say you bought a machine or set up a project where the investment is going to be, let's put it at 2 lakhs this time around. Okay, so you made an investment of 2 lakhs, and over a period of a few years, you're going to be getting a return. Alright, so I'm going to scroll down and we're going to make a table where we have year. Okay, and this can be part of the question. So let's say we have this running for 8 years. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so we have an investment, and that investment is going to last us 8 years. And within those 8 years, you're going to get some amount of cash flow, or simply CF. Alright, so cash flow. And we have maybe 20,000 in the first year, 30,000 year, 15,000. Okay, all of these numbers I'm just coming up with here. In the question, see the numbers and accordingly substitute. Okay, we have, let's say, 35. Of course, we want to cross 2 lakhs. Okay, so 45, 80, 25, and 1 lakh. Okay, so again, these are just random numbers. The next step is to calculate cumulative cash flow. Okay, now see how painful it is when you're writing it so big. So instead of writing it so large, cumulative cash flow. Similarly, this is cash flow. Anyway, going forward, the first number we write it as it is. Okay, and then we add the number year. So 20 plus 30 gives us 50,000. Okay, 50 plus 15 gives us 65. 65 plus 35 gives me 1 lakh. Okay, 1 lakh plus 45 gives me 1 lakh. 1 lakh 45. And 1 lakh 45 plus 80 gives me 2 lakh 25. Okay, you all can do all of this on the calculator. And 2 lakh 25 plus 25 gives me 2 lakh 50. And 2 lakh 50 plus 1 lakh gives me 3 lakh 50,000. Now, going forward, we need to identify between which 2 years are we crossing 2 lakhs. Okay, so we are less than 2 lakhs over here and more than 2 lakhs over here. So we are crossing between these two. And I've already written down this formula on top over here. Okay, we are following the same formula here downstairs. Okay, and I'm just going to rewrite it. Okay, so payback period is equal to Y1 plus investment minus cumulative cash flow at Y1 upon cash flow at Y2. Okay, so Y1 between these 2 years, whichever is the earlier year is Y1, whichever is the later year is Y2. Okay, so Y1 is 5. The investment made is 2 lakhs. The cumulative cash flow. Okay, so this is the cumulative cash flow column, and they're saying corresponding to Y1. So corresponding to Y1. So we are talking about this number. So it's going to be 2 lakhs minus 1 lakh 45. Okay, and we divide it by the cash flow at year 2. So this is year 2 and this is the cash flow column. So the cash flow at year 2 is going to be this number. Alright, so it's going to be divided by 80,000. So we are talking about 5 plus 2 lakhs minus 1 lakh 45,000 should give us 55,000, which is then divided by 80,000. And you are allowed a calculator, which I will now use. Okay, so we are talking about 55,000 upon 80,000, which gives me 0.6875. Okay, so it's going to be 5 plus 0.6875. Okay, let's make sure that's correct. 6875. So my final answer is going to be 5.6875 years. All right. Payback period, to be clear. Payback period is equal to 5.6875 years. Now, in our answer, we are getting such a long decimal, 5.6875. Supposing if your answer was something simpler, okay, supposing if it was 0.25 or 0.5, okay, so imagine if I'm still stuck at 5 years. So we are talking about 5.25 years or 5.5 years. We can show this in terms of years and months, okay, and that will mean when we are doing our original payback period calculation, payback period is equal to y1 plus investment minus cumulative cash flow at y1 upon cash flow at y2, only and only if you're getting such a smooth decimal, multiply this by 12. Okay, so that's as good as only multiplying after the decimal point by 12. So if you take 0.25 and multiply by 12, you're going to end up with 4. So instead of writing your answer as 5.25 years, you can also write it as 5 years and, okay, 5 years and, let's see, one more time we'll do the calculation. Okay, maybe it's not 4, it's 3. I'm simply going to take 0.25, okay, and I'm going to show this up here. Okay, it's going to be 0.25 into 12. Okay, so 0.25 into 12 gives me 3 months. Okay, so 5 years and 3 months. Similarly, if I take 0.5, okay, I can write it as 5.5 years or 5 years and again we go back here and do 0.5 into 12, which gives us 6. So it ends up being 5 years and 6 months. Alright, so with this, I hope you all are clear with the concept of payback period. Okay, and keep in mind, payback profitability. Alright, payback profitability can also be used in the sum we see downstairs, making use of exactly the same formula. Okay, so total cash inflow minus investment. So let's see. First of all, when you do cumulative like this, the final number that you get here in the last row is nothing but your total cash inflow. Okay, that's one thing you need to keep in mind. So we have in our sum, and I'm just going to solve it on top over here. Okay, payback profitability. Okay, payback profitability is equal to total cash inflow minus investment. Okay, so our total cash inflow we have calculated as 3,50,000. If you want, you can simply, and in that way you can actually check if you're correct, add up everybody here. Okay, from 1 all the way till 8, add them all up and you'll get the same number, 3,50,000. Okay, so in any case, we have total cash inflow as 3,50,000 and we have an investment. Okay, we have an investment of 2 lakhs. Okay, and I'm going to check that our investment is 2 lakhs. I'm going to subtract 2 lakhs investment, and therefore I end up with payback profitability. Okay, profitability is equal to 1,50,000. I hope this video has been useful. Please like, share and subscribe. Any doubts, please mention in the comments. I'll be more than happy to reply.